Um, yeah. Okay, so as usual, my greeting is Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, and all that means is those without ego belong to the universe, and the universe always wins. Yeah. So it's a nice way to just embed yourself in the present moment. So as we've anticipated, come autumn, we will start to see more contraction, more lockdowns, and more restrictions in everyday life. And we're starting to see that now. And I'm sure that once the US election falls apart and does its little thing, things will then hopefully start to balance out a little bit. In the meantime, the real pandemic that I think everyone needs to be concerned about is the pandemic to do with mental health. You cannot put anyone under months and months of stress, anxiety, uncertainty, and expect them not to have post-traumatic stress disorder. You just can't do it, right? So it is absolutely critical that in order to avoid that, some action is taken now. And not just for yourself, but for people around you. More and more, certainly in my everyday life, I am finding more and more young individuals, young people in school ages, early university or just pre-university. And the whole routine that's been disrupted has had a catastrophic effect on people. It's not recognized, it's not acknowledged, and there seems to be very little support out there for it. So mindfulness, meditation are part and parcel of maintaining this mental health and emotional health, or would I say at one level. But there are other things that we can do, right? Other things that we can do. And I'm going to share some of that, and then we'll go into our meditation. If there's any questions or anything like that, more than happy to explore that. So our biology, our body, is made out of cells, which we all know. So we've got about 50 trillion cells, I think, last time I counted. And each one of these cells is an independent battery. It's an independent battery. And the battery operates that it's a negative charge inside the cell, positive charge outside the cell. And it operates around 1.4 millivolts per cell. So if you put 50 trillion cells, multiply by 1.5 or 1.4, you're like a charged battery with like 700 trillion volts of energy inside you. And this energy comes out in waves. So this is how we pick it up. It comes out in waves. When you die, it's not just a breath that stops, it's this chi that leaves your body. And it takes some time. Normally it leaves through hair, eyes, hair, top of the head or below. And until the chi goes, and it can take sometimes up to about 6 days for this chi to leave the body, before you can consider this person is now deceased. But obviously that understanding isn't yet in our everyday world. So there are certain things that mess up this chi, right? GM foods, anything that's modified will mess it up, will reduce it. Wi-Fi signals will reduce it. Skin creams, any topical skin cream will reduce it, will make you more acidic, right? Moving air, like air conditioning, will remove it, will make you more acidic. There are people who, when you hug or you go near them, you feel drained. Yeah, there are people who do that too, right? They drain it out of you. And there are people that give it to you, but there are people that take it away. And as this voltage comes down, so we operate, so if you were to take a little bit of blood and put a litmus paper on it, you'll find that your blood pH level is alkaline. It's like 7.3 to 7.5, something like that, which means it's on the alkaline side. Anything less than 7 is acidic. When it gets to 6.5, you got cancer. Doesn't take much. Does not take much. Sugar will bring it down. Wheat will bring it down. Grains will bring it down. There are many ways to bring this down. So fear brings it down because you have adrenaline, cortisol, all of this other stuff flowing in your body pushes it that way. So if it begins to go below 7.35, it is highly sensitive. It begins to get into malfunction and disease. And as it goes to like 6.5, 6.8, which isn't much, you begin to develop cancer. On the other side, say if you bang your nail or door or catch it, and it hurts. It's that intense pain. Immediately, the voltage increases, goes to minus 50 millivolts because it needs to repair it. If it goes low, it begins to malfunction. That's why you have that throbbing pain. Yeah, it's repair mechanism going on. So there are some things which will drain it. In fact, most of our everyday life is draining. Computer screens drain it. So what can we do to restore it? And it's important to restore it because it's not enough to just be mentally in a balanced space, emotionally in a balanced space, but it's also important to give the body the energy it needs to repair itself. So you see in China and in places like even in India, you've got these people in their 80s and 90s, and they're in the park giving it all of this, moving around. Where's the arthritis? Where's the high blood pressure? Since India changed its diet to pizzas and wheat, diabetes has shot up. Absolutely shot up. So within the Indic culture, you have a masala. Yeah, everyone familiar with masala? You have a few spices, you put them together with a few onions, garlic, ginger, and tomatoes. And then you put a bit of cumin, a bit of garam masala, etc. This acts like a prescription. It's an Ayurvedic prescription. It's not about taste. So you give the body the right ingredients, the body will repair itself. The body will restore itself. And the body will maintain a healthy balance. So what can we do to help us do this? Well, first is to take up a practice like a Tai Chi, Qi Gong, or yoga. Any one of these three works really well, really well. Maybe once or twice a week. You don't need to be, one of these fanatics that does it every day. But once or twice a week, you will find that it begins to restore this energy in us, this chi in us. Walking barefoot on the cold ground early in the morning. The colder, the better. Just for a few minutes, like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And until you feel, you'll go through a reaction. So you go out there and think, I don't want to do this. But you do it. And then you feel a little bit of discomfort. And then there's a little bit of kind of discomfort increases. I wouldn't call it pain, discomfort. And then it goes kind of numb. Got to wait till that. So it's about 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah. If you start walking, you can actually, then the numbness goes and then you're quite okay about it. But let's say you do 3 or 4 minutes. You can do longer. And then you come back and you pour some warm water over your feet. It has an incredible impact. It has an impact in creating new neural pathways in your brain. It has an impact in making you more alkaline. Grounding, it's called. Then what we can do is to ensure that we restrain from any processed foods. The less processed foods, the better it is. Yeah, raw foods are better than cooked foods. Switching off your phone and keeping it away from your head is a very good thing. The phone, the people who carry this phone in their pockets here, and then they're worried if they get angina or heart problems or anything else. It gives off radiation. It is not healthy to have this. So making these small changes can start to have quite an impact on our body. Then we have other issues that we have to contend with. And those issues are, and the thing is, if you're blind to this stuff, you don't understand it, you don't realize it. But if you go and do a little bit of research, I've had the privilege of being educated in different ways, so I have an understanding that can be backed to either empirical science or through practice. Because we are these electromagnetic, we are these batteries, walking batteries. So the body is a community of cells. It's not one thing, it's a community of cells. And the government of the cells is your mind. It's where your mind is. So if your mind is stressed, if your mind is anxious, that sends a signal throughout the body, and that impacts us as well. Because we are these electromagnetic beings, our heart, this is when you were born, in fact, when you were conceived, after about 6 weeks, 6 weeks, it's about 42nd day when you're in the feet, in your mother, that there's this explosion of a chemical called DMT, around 42 days. After that, the heart begins to become formed. So the first organ that's developed in you as a human being, or one of the first ones, is the heart. Now, the heart, we don't give it enough value. So we think the heart is just this mechanical pump. No, it's not just a mechanical pump. It's much more than that. In every tradition, they call this hirda, they call this hridaya, they call this spiritual heart, sacred heart. There's a reason. And the reason is because from this space, much can take place in your body and in your environment. In fact, there is a weapon called the growler, which uses these electromagnetic waves which impact, and if you're exposed to it, you will fall to the ground. That's it. So if we begin to see that there's a relationship between signals and our body, physiology. So not everyone who's talking about 5G, 4G, electromagnetic stuff and body is a conspiracy theorist. There is science behind this. And you need to have, if you want to investigate this, you will find when radar was first introduced, 1917, 18, whatever it was, you had Spanish flu. There's a link between radiation that's emitting, frequencies, and your body. Because your heart acts like a receiver, but also as a transmitter. So, in the current climate that we're in, our agenda, the Flame agenda, is to educate as much as possible about how to look after ourselves. That's it. That's all we're concerned about. And we'll give you that knowledge which you cannot access anywhere else. Or if you can, it's in little bits. Reason we can share that with you is because we have a team of individuals who work with us that have lineage. That means they're teachers. They can trace it back 500 years, 600 years, and so on and so forth, which means you have that accumulated. And with the understanding of science, Western language, and the understanding of this stuff, we can now start to bring these two bits together. and start making sense of saying, oh, why do we meditate? Oh, we meditate because it allows the mind to find stability. That stability impacts our body, impacts our body. How does it impact? Well, pH, your electricity, your electromagnetic stuff. So how can we strengthen this? So I've told you about the chi bit, running water. Standing in running water helps. Yeah, so I don't want you all go to the local river and standing there with your hand saying, oh, Dove told us this will help. No, but running water helps. Meditating with your feet in water is a really, really interesting practice. Yeah, just 10, 15 minutes. Meditate with your feet in the water and then get rid of the water. Right? It's a really, really good practice. So I suggest those people who are serious, try it. Try it for a week and just see what happens. Okay. So today, what I want to do is to begin with is in our meditation practice is to how do we strengthen our heart coherence. So there are different ways. There are 5 steps to this. So today we're just going to go step 1. Step 1 is how to align the mind, the emotions, and physiology, your blood pressure, your heart rate. So if you got Fitbits and stuff like that, you can do this, monitor it over a week, 10 days, and you will find that your blood pressure begins to become more stabilized, right? So you can do that now with your gadgets. So we're going to work with the heart coherence. So heart coherence is number 1. After the heart coherence is that you can wake up to heart intelligence. Heart intelligence is slightly different. It's not coherence. Coherence is just bringing things into one kind of pattern, so everything's synchronized. Heart intelligence is more about being able to be directed from this intuitive space, this heart space, this intuitive space. And we can awaken to it. We can awaken to it. The third bit is self-healing. That there's a way to generate gamma waves, which will then start repairing your body. And how does it work? It works like this. Every time you get stressed, you have a cell, and on the cell there's a little thing. So let's imagine that's a cell. There's a little thing on the cell. It's a little protein called telomere. The length of this will determine whether this cell is going to kill itself or is it going to divide. Right? Every time you get stressed, it reduces a bit, and a bit, and a bit, until it gets to a length where it gives a signal to the cell and says, all right, time's up, destroy yourself. And it just fades away. Every time you get stressed. However, mindfulness meditation and meditation has been demonstrated that if you practice it consistently, the telomere begins to repair itself. Hence, anti-aging. You wouldn't think I'm 75. No? Anti-aging. Anti-aging, but more importantly, it slows deterioration of certain types of cells within our body. So stress has that impact on us very significantly. This heart coherence bit, when we go into the self-healing, now there's a process to this. So I'm not going to go into that process, but I'm just sharing with you that this is where medicine is going. It's only a matter of time, maybe another 5 years. But medicine is moving into the direction where they're using frequencies to heal you. Already they have shown that you can use sound to destroy tumors but leaving the rest of the body together. Although it's been shown since maybe last 20 years, you won't find it in mainstream because it ain't as profitable. Yeah, but you can do that. Now, in the Indic tradition, they have always known this. The Chinese have known this, the Indians have known this, the Egyptians have known this, the Gregorian chanters have known this. That when you use sound in a particular way, it becomes like a healing prescription. It goes through you and it begins to align certain things. So mantra is that. Mantra is a healing sound. And that sound, of course, they have connotations to religions and stuff, but actually it's a frequency. So medicine is moving in that direction. That's one. The second bit is the water. Water contains memory. Water contains memory. So, loads of stuff now, quite open. But again, some of this has been known. Why has water been used in certain rituals? Because it contains memory. In Indic traditions, if you're meditating, you have a glass of water with you. Why? Because when you go into that healing space, that water absorbs it. And then you drink it, which goes throughout your body. So it's a good practice to have a glass of water beside you when you do your meditation. Very, very good practice. So when we go into the self-healing, the brain, it's a process that we go through. The brain begins to create what are called gamma waves, very slow waves. These waves begin to repair things. So you've heard spontaneous healing. We've only come across it maybe 3 times in our 10, 15 years. But we've come across it with one particular woman. I don't mind sharing her name because she's done a video with us. It was Jackie, who'd been 20 years OCD, depressed, anxiety, in an awful state. And the consultants had told her she used to have 6 to 8 pairs of gloves a day. So if anyone touched her, put them on. Hadn't touched a mug. That's what she told us for God knows how many years. And the consultants had told her they can't take a brain out and wash it. Right? So 20 years she's in this state. Has some children. Comes to us in October. In March, she has an experience during a retreat that is phenomenal. She relayed this at the cathedral event. And after that, gloves come off, everything comes off, and she says, I'm healed. No, nothing. Spontaneous healing. Gamma wave induction, spontaneous healing, and all of a sudden, everything changed for her. And she's fine, she's good as new, good as all of us. Gone from this really paranoid, totally wrapped up human being to just a regular individual. So that's the self-healing bit. The fourth bit is regulation. It's to do with regulating your thoughts, regulating your emotions, regulating even your heart rate. Even regulating your heart rate. It's not now, but normally when I take my heart rate, I can get it down to about 43 beats per minute. Got it down to 38 back in the day. Right? It's quite a conscious way of doing it. So these yogis, the reason they can sit there is they can bring their heart rate to about 6 beats a minute. 6 beats a minute. Right? So it's possible to change your physiology. There's lots of evidence to do with this now. Lots of evidence to do with this, if you just check it out. And the final thing is the co-creation bit, which is quite an advanced kind of space to be in. But it is through the heart we go through these layers. And so what I want to do today is I want to bring heart coherence, tell you how to do this. Dead simple. You can do this for 5 minutes a day and you will see the value of it, right? So the process is very simple. We become a bit still. We move our hand to our chest, left hand first, right hand, for men, left hand first, right hand on top. For women, it's the other way around. And you begin to feel the sensation of your palm against your chest and synchronize it with your breath. So it'll take you about 2 or 3 minutes to get there. Once you begin to feel that, now you synchronize it with your breath. So when you're breathing in, you're breathing 1 to 6. So you count 1 to 6 in your mind. When you breathe out, 1 to 6, 1 to 6, 1 to 6, 1 to 6, 1 to 6. And you do that for about, say, 6 to 10 breaths. And one way that I keep a note of it is that I will press the finger down. So once I've done one cycle, I press one finger, second cycle, third cycle, fourth cycle, fifth, sixth. Once you've done about 6 to 10, you will find that you feel quite calm by then. Then you slow it down again. just by another couple of, just a little bit more. So one method I use is to imagine that you have a feather in front of your nose, so that makes you slow your breath down. And now you can have the same breath, but now count 1 to 7 on the breath in, or 1 to 8 on the breath in, 1 to 8 on the breath out, slowing it down. So you slow it down once, you slow it down again, slow it down twice. Second time you're slowing down, you might get to the point where you're almost not breathing. It's like becomes very light. Once you're in that space, all you need to do is bring to your mind something that gives you a feeling in your heart. All right, that's the key. And the thing that will give you a feeling in the heart will be someone you love, something that you're grateful for, something that you appreciate in the present moment. Right? So I'm warm, that's a nice appreciation. Appreciation, gratitude, love, and compassion. Something that invokes compassion. If you can't think of any of these things, then you can just bring a smile to your face and deep breath in and release. That will synchronize everything for 4 to 6 hours. In your body will internally will remain in that space between 4 and 6 hours. So every time you get angry or stressed, it will mess up your body, your internal chemistry, and your nervous system and your hormonal system for between 5 and 6 hours. So this just reverses it. Yeah. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to go into a silent space. Enough? I think so. Okay. Any questions? Good. Okay. So if you just allow yourself a moment, taking a deep breath in. And as you take this breath in, become aware of your body as best as you can. Your intention is simply to become present. Become present to your experience right now. And that means you're going to focus on things that are happening right now, which means the sensations that are in your body. So just allow your focus to go from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. So you can imagine there's a hula hoop that does this. And just scan your body for any sensations that are there. Okay. Now bring your focus to the kind of thoughts you're having or have been having. What's your story been today? What have you been preoccupied by? Bringing your focus to the chair that you're sitting on. And notice how well you are held in space. That wherever you are, you can only be there. Your back is upright and straight, but your body, your flesh, so to speak, is softened. Now notice the sensations where your body makes contact with the chair. Bring this focus upwards, becoming aware of your hips. Move your focus down to your thighs. becoming aware of your knees. Next breath out, bring this focus further down to your ankles. Take your time, no need to rush. This is your time to be by yourself, with yourself. From your ankles, move your focus down to your feet. From your feet, move your focus down to the soles of your feet. Take your focus back to the chair that you're on. As you breathe in, bring your focus lower back. Again, just sense what's going on there. No commentary, no judgment. Next breath in, bring this focus to your middle back. Notice how your chest moves as the breath comes in and the breath goes out. And there are sensations associated with the movement of your body. See if you can note them around your chest and your back. Next breath in, bring your focus to your shoulder blades. From your shoulders, move your focus down to your elbows. From your elbows, move your focus down to your wrists. Moving to the palms of your hands. Moving to the fingers on your hands. Bring your focus to the back of your neck. As you pull your chin in, notice the back of the neck stretching. Bring your focus to your eyes. Notice the darkness. Notice how gently your eyelids are closed. Allow this part of the body to relax and soften. Move your focus to your tongue. Scan the surface of your tongue. And again. Allow your tongue to soften. Notice the sensations within your mouth. Allow your jaw to soften and relax. Relax your face. Now as you breathe in, once again gently coming back to your body. Taking note of the sensing your body as best as you can. So you're not imagining your body, you're not thinking about it, you're just sensing it. Again, notice if there's anything dominant that sticks in your field of awareness. An ache, a pain, a tightness, an itch. Bring your focus to your chest. Notice how you feel right now. Do you feel settled? Do you feel unsettled? Just this moment. Do you feel calm or do you feel anxious? Does your chest feel tight? Just the intention to smile allows it to open. On your next breath out, gently expanding your awareness and just become aware of your whole body as best as you can. And now gently, if you move your palm of your hand to your chest, right hand for women, left hand for men. And just hold your awareness where the palms make contact with your body. Begin to feel the sensation of the palm of your hand against your body and just hold your focus there as best as you can. Holding your focus, feeling the warmth, notice how the chest rises and falls, synchronized with the breath. Allowing the breath to breathe by itself. Stay with your hands. Stay with the sensation on your chest. Now imagine that you're breathing through the chest itself. Imagine where you can feel the palms of your hand, that there's a hollow hole there that allows the breath to come in, that allows the breath to go out. Breathing in, breathing out from the center of your chest. You may begin to feel a sensation on your back as well. Hold your focus at your chest as best as you can. Once you begin to feel and experience the warmth around your chest, we begin to synchronize the breath. So as you breathe in, mentally counting 1 to 6 in your mind, and as you breathe out, counting 1 to 6. Breathing in 1 to 6, breathing out 1 to 6. Breathing in 1 to 6, breathing out 1 to 6. When you're ready, quite deliberately, see if you can slow your breath down a little bit, just a tiny bit. And now, as the breath comes in, you count 1 to 7. Breath comes in, you count 1 to 7. As the breath goes out, you count 1 to 7. 1 to 7 as the breath comes in, 1 to 7 as the breath goes out. And when you're ready, just once more, see if you can slow your breath down a little bit more. When you feel that your breath has slowed down enough, make sure your face is relaxed. And now gently bringing to your mind someone that you care about, someone that you love. Something that you may appreciate, something that invokes gratitude. Any one of these. And just hold it in your mind's eye, whatever you bring to your mind, until you begin to feel the warmth around your chest. Bringing to your mind someone you care about, someone you love, is perhaps the easiest way to invoke this. Imagining them as a child helps. Slowly drawing a slow, deep breath in. Smile and relax. Hold your focus at your chest. Allow your breath to breathe by itself. And then gently pulling your hands down and sitting in a comfortable posture. Your focus is on your breath now. Your focus just beneath your nose, watching the in-breath moving in, watching the out-breath moving out. Remember, you're deliberately becoming aware of the movement of your breath. So try not to. Allow yourself to simply sit, becoming aware of your breath as best as you can. And now to just refine our focus a little bit better, a bit more. Begin to notice the start and the end of your in-breath, start and the end of your out-breath as best as you can. Allow your breath to breathe by itself. Noticing the in-breath as it comes in. Notice the start, end of the in-breath. Notice the start, end of the out-breath as best as you can. Refining your focus a bit more, begin to follow the out-breath. And notice the little gap at the end of your out-breath before the in-breath begins. There's a tiny little gap at that before the in-breath begins. See if you can notice that. Following your breath all the way down to the end of your out-breath. Notice the little gap. Stay with your breath. Whenever you find your focus has drifted, notice what's distracted, come back to your breath. Following your out-breath all the way till the end. And with every out-breath, you can allow your body to relax a little bit further. Now bring your focus to how the breath feels. Notice its length. Does it feel long or does it feel short? Is it flowing slow or is it flowing fast? Becoming more aware of our breath. Does your breath feel smooth or does it feel erratic? Does your breath have a temperature? Does your in-breath feel the same as your out-breath? Does it feel cool or does it feel warm? Does your breath have a sound? Try and listen to the in-breath as it comes in. Try and listen to the out-breath as it goes out. On your next breath out, open your awareness to all the sounds around you. Simply listening. And we're going to use the sound of these bells to notice the silence at the end. Allowing the sound of the bell and just see if we can notice the sound. Take this opportunity to notice your experience. If it feels calm, notice the calmness. If it feels silent, notice the silence. If it feels peaceful, notice the peace. Notice how just the intention to smile changes our experience. Gently bring your focus just beneath your nose and sit with your breath. On your next breath out, expand your awareness to include your body. Notice you're still sitting on the same chair. The chair still holds you in place. There are sensations where the chair makes contact with your body. You can sense your thighs all the way down to your feet. You can sense the ground beneath your feet too. Notice your back is still straight and upright. Shoulders, arms, hands are relaxed and comfortable. Eyes are still closed, mouth is still closed, face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. Breathing in, you can sense. Coming back to your breath. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few deep breaths in. And when you're ready in your own good time, gently opening your eyes. Take your time. Enjoy the silence before the breath. Everyone back? Thank you very much. Okay. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you.